Migration is without doubt one of the best Illumination movies I've seen in a long time. When it comes to good movies, Illumination hasn't had much luck in recent years, except for the Mario movie, of course. But besides that, Illumination hasn't done anything much outside of sequels. If you look at some of their recent movies, you'll know what I'm talking about. There was Despicable Me 3 in 2017, there was The Grinch in 2018, The Secret Life of Pets 2 in 2019, Sing 2 in 2021, and Minions: The Rise of Gru in 2022. So anyway, Illumination has made some real stinkers in the past 5 years. It seems like the only thing they want to do is make sequels. They never seem to want to take risks anymore. But for the first time in over 5 years, Illumination has finally come up with an original film not based on any of their previous work. All I can say is, it's about time. Migration has had some fairly decent reviews, but not everyone is a fan of this movie, and I can totally understand why. It is a movie about ducks after all, so obviously it is a little bit cliche, but I think the story really makes up for that. The best thing about this movie is the animation. It looks absolutely stunning. They really outdone themselves with the backgrounds. They look as though they belong in a museum. Most Illumination films are pretty generic, so I'm glad to see they're finally trying something new for a change, rather than just sticking with realism. Another thing I really love about this movie is the pacing. Unlike the Mario movie, the pacing in Migration is actually pretty good. The Mario movie was way too fast-paced. They kept jumping from one scene to the other. But ironically, I think the pacing was pretty good in Migration, and it really shows. There's not a single scene in Migration that I can say went too slow or too fast. The pacing was just right. The ducks went to a lot of different places while on their journey to Jamaica, and there's not a single location in the film where I can say they stayed there for too long or too little. They didn't just jump from one scene to the next, like in the Mario movie. It's kind of weird how the pacing for this movie is so good, but the pacing for the Mario movie is so bad. It's kind of ironic when you think about it. Out of all the characters in this movie, my favorite would definitely have to be Chump. I just think Chump is really funny. All the other characters are funny, but Chump is the funniest. I almost wish Chump had more screen time. Obviously, it wouldn't make any sense to make Chump go to Jamaica just as an excuse to give him more screen time in the movie. But maybe Chump could make an appearance in the sequel. That is, if they even decide to make a sequel. Don't take this the wrong way, but I don't think Illumination should make a sequel. Now, don't get me wrong, I loved this movie. This is one of the best Illumination movies I've seen in a long time. But I don't want them to milk this movie for everything it's worth. They always do that, and it has to stop. Illumination has to stop making sequels and start making more original content again. But I think Illumination probably will try and turn this into a franchise. And I think that's unfortunate, because I want Illumination to do well. And if they just keep cranking out sequels, they're just going to get more backlash. A sequel to Migration could work, but it needs to have a proper script. They can't just make a sequel as an excuse to make a quick buck. They have to write a story worthy enough for the big screen treatment. The movie might not be worthy of a sequel, but they could have at least given it a nomination for Best Animated Feature. I don't think there's much chance it could win, but I definitely think it deserves a nomination. Anyway, I'm giving Migration a 10 out of 10. If you haven't seen this one yet, do yourself a favor and check it out. I promise you won't be disappointed. Well, that's it for this video. Let me know what you think of Migration in the comments, and I'll see you next time.